welcome to the Honorable Governor, Dr. Anders Eugene Holliday, and a special welcome as well to the newly sworn in Council of Ministers, Minister Amy Lee, Minister Sylvia Jacobs, Minister Richard Gibson, Minister Irania Arundel, and our Minister Plenipotentiary, who will be traveling to The Hague very soon, Henrietta Duran York. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, good afternoon. It gives me great pleasure as your new Prime Minister to welcome you here this afternoon for this brief meeting. Before we continue, it is my pleasure now to turn the floor over to our Governor for some short remarks.
Today, some 7 weeks ago, a shift in the majority in Parliament took place, creating the basis for the transfer of governing responsibility to a new team of ministers. As a result, this Council of Ministers was appointed and sworn in a short while ago. The Prime Minister just introduced all of the ministers and the Minister Plenipotentiary. And during the swearing-in ceremony, I stated that the path to this transfer was not without challenges. Today's transfer of the executive responsibility follows, as you all know, a period of polarized, complex, and tense political actions and constitutional debates. During the past 7 weeks, a lot has been said and written about our Constitution. And regardless of which side of the debate one took, it is my belief, and for me it was evident, that our people look to our constitutional principles as the foundation for the handling of their affairs. Looking ahead, I believe that it is important, therefore, that we are reminded of the principles outlined in the preamble of our Constitution, which states, "We, the people of St. Martin, are determined to work with each other. We believe in the principle of democracy. We believe in the rule of law. We believe in the entitlement of all individuals to the fundamental rights and freedoms. We wish to create a constitutional order based on an open and approachable government, and we therefore, to record our objectives and convictions, agree that the provisions of the Constitution shall have the full force of law." Prime Minister, Ministers, having just assumed your mandate to govern this, our beautiful country, I trust that you, in keeping with your oath, will work to fortify our constitutional principles aimed at improving the well-being of our people. This, as you move to address pressing budgetary issues and electoral matters before you. In that regard, there rests on you individually and jointly as Council of Ministers a great responsibility. As I said earlier, your decisions will have lasting influences on the lives of the people of St. Martin. Thus, as you deliberate in this hall on taking action on the matters before you during your governing period, I wish you wisdom individually and jointly in the conduct of your responsibilities as you seek to meet your constitutional responsibility to our people, the people of St. Martin. Having said that, I wish to use this moment to again congratulate the people of St. Martin with the installation of this new government, and similarly congratulate each of you individually and collectively and your families with your appointments as Prime Minister, ministers, and Minister Plenipotentiary. Thank you.
Afford what you crave, life just gets so good. KFC, so good for everyone.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
Need a loan that's quick and easy. Island Finance. Up to 50,000 guineas real easy. Island Finance. For education, a renovation. That's no problem. Yes, it's true. That's not all. They're quick and friendly too. Island Finance. Appliances, vacations, even fix your car. You can depend on Island Finance.
Anybody bingo? Nobody bingo.
A government that certainly faces humongous tasks ahead and enormous challenges. One of them is the million-dollar question that is asked every day, many times a day, as to whether there will be an election come February 9th, yes or no. It is an issue that this government definitely will address immediately upon taking office, and the outcome of that, of course, will be known to the people of St. Martin. One of the things that the government has pledged to immediately embark upon as well is to be open and transparent with the people of St. Martin. Weekly press briefings will be held, and in some cases, we will even need to have daily information disseminated to the people of St. Martin, because we cannot hide the affairs of government behind closed doors. We cannot hide from communicating with the people, because communication is of essence. There is a tremendous task that is laid in the hands of our Minister of Finance, who also has the responsibility for, hopefully a very short period, tasked with the responsibility of justice as well, Mr. Richard Gibson. Knowing him, we know he will take his job seriously. He will go after it the way we know him to do so. And in a discussion a few days ago, the candidate ministers at the time, now ministers, have gotten a preview of how he intends to tackle things. We have a serious problem as far as managing our finances are concerned. St. Martin to date has been able to balance the budget 2015. While we are at the end of 2015, St. Martin has not yet been able to present a balanced budget for 2016, and it is the responsibility of our new Minister of Finance to lead us through this financial crisis and ensure that as soon as possible, the instruction handed down to St. Martin will be lifted. We cannot concentrate only on the financial matters, but they are needed to also address issues in education, issues in our communities. We cannot turn a blind eye to the effects of crime and the rising criminality on this island. So collectively, the Council of Ministers have pledged to work and work hard for the people of St. Martin. We are backed by, as I said, the coalition of 8 who have pledged to remain together until the next election, whether it is going to be on February 9th, whether it's going to be in 2016, 17, or even 18. The coalition of 8 has taken a pledge to remain together and to work in the interest of St. Martin to bring stability and respectability to government. I want to thank you for coming out here this afternoon and sharing in this occasion with us, those of you who were at the cabinet of the governor and those of you who have joined us now this afternoon. I want to extend an invitation to all of you who are here as well to join us at Sonesta Great Bay at the foot of town for a brief reception which will begin shortly at 5 o'clock. And we will now immediately go over to the signing of the national decree. In Dutch it is called the Vervangingsregeling. It is the national decree that regulates which ministers will substitute for which ministers. As you can see, the Council of Ministers is starting off with 5 ministers. So there are 2 ministers who will be replacing the 2 ministers who have not yet completed their screening. As I said before, the Minister of Finance, Mr. Richard Gibson, will be replacing for this period the Minister of Justice, and the Minister of General Affairs, myself, will be replacing the Minister of Romi. Once their credentials have been cleared, those ministers will join the Council of Ministers as well. The national decree that will now be signed by the governor and myself regulates the substitution of the rest of the Council of Ministers. When one minister is not present, which minister will replace them. Once we have done that, we will adjourn the meeting briefly to give all of you the opportunity to clear the room and to get down to Sonesta Great Bay in order for the reception to be able to kick off with you, of course. Thank you again for your presence, and thanks for your support.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank.
Anybody bingo? Nobody bingo.
Share with you some interesting things that are happening on St. Martin. On the 25th of November this year, Suriname will be celebrating 40 years of independence. And as we all know here, we have many persons from Suriname living on St. Martin. And we want to take the opportunity to not only share with you some of the things that we learned from the time when we received independence up to now, that's the 40 years, but we also want to use this opportunity to show how we as Surinamese view St. Martin and how we feel integrated here on the island. And we hope that with these activities that we have, especially with the event that I'm going to mention just now, that we are able to share some important lessons learned, and most importantly, what not to do when it comes to independence. But of course, also focus on what to do. I have with me here a guest, a very special guest, and I'm very proud to introduce that guest to the viewers and the listeners. That is Dr. Anders Stanley Raghubar Singh, who is a very good friend of mine from years, but who is also a very skilled professional, also very experienced professional. He is an economist, and he was the first Minister of Planning and Developmental Affairs in Suriname when we were struggling to find our way through the process of how to.
I congratulate the Philipsburg Jubilee Library and those organizing this symposium for the initiative, because I think it is important that since we have experiences in quite a similar process of development and progress of our countries, that we share information and we share experiences and we learn from each other. And we learned in some ways, in some areas in our country, in Suriname, we learned the hard way. We learned by making mistakes. We have experienced human rights violations. We've experienced military. We've experienced not having budgets in order. And I think it's most important for the peoples of St. Martin and other friends in the world that if we can share that information and make sure that others do not fall in the same traps we did fall in, that we can be good friends and brothers all over the globe. We can share also good things. One of the excellent things that put us on the map on this globe is that we are just like St. Martin, a community of many groups, many ethnic groups, groups from many origins, and we managed to deal with that. It put us on the fourth spot on the globe when it came to travel destinations. And there is particularly one picture that made up that major part of that, which is, especially in this world today, is very important. We have in our country a Jewish synagogue and a Muslim mosque side by side, very brotherly. It is such an important message that we have to deliver. We are, for all the good reasons, we are most proud of that. But most of all, I'm happy to be here today and to be the keynote speaker tomorrow at this symposium. And may I use the opportunity to invite all who are interested in the information that we have to share, but also who are interested in the future of St. Martin to attend tomorrow. I'll be most happy to meet you and to share with you.
What are some of the things that you bring forward?
Well, one of the lessons we learned, let me give a sneak peek into what it is we are going to do tomorrow. One of the lessons we have learned is that progress is not in money, and progress is not in natural resources, because our country has an abundance of natural resources. We are one of the most richest countries in the world when it comes to natural resources. When you look at what have we done with it, it didn't come out as it should have been. So the essence of progress is not in the natural resources. It's not in development aid which we received. Also, it's in something else. It's in people, and in fact, that is the main message. It isn't people. It is in leadership. We're going to talk about that tomorrow.
Well, they already received a sneak peek of what it's going to be, and while I was listening to Dr. Anders Rakubar Singh, I was also looking at you, and I could see your interest growing, so hopefully the same will happen. And I really would want to invite everybody to come. It is tomorrow, Friday the 20th of November. It starts at 7 at the Jubilee Library. Dr. Stanley Raghubar Singh is the keynote speaker, but we also have two local speakers. We have Dr. Meester Attorney at Law Reinhold Groeneveld, who is also a speaker. We will have a panel discussion after the keynote speech. And we have Dr. Rhoda Arendel, who is also a panelist, and she will also address the audience. And after all three addresses, we will have a panel discussion where we can, of course, from our own perspective, go into more details about what independence means for us individually, but also for the country where we live in. So I think we have all the ingredients for a very interesting discussion tomorrow. So again, it's 7 o'clock, Jubilee Library. In addition to the symposium, we have a second activity on that same day, during the same activity around the same time, and that is that we will also have like a mini exposition where we showcase some of the things that are connected to Suriname about the different people. My colleague mentioned the challenges and the things that we learned when it comes to different groups, living with different groups, different ethnicities, different religions, different cultures, and we want to share that, how we managed to be one while being so diverse. And that is also the message that was clearly given during the St. Martin Day Parade this year.